am Raymond Two Hawks Watson. Amongst other things, I am a member of the Eastern Medicine Singers Drum and also the current chair of the Providence Human Relations Commission. And it is my great honor and pleasure to be here to bring you greetings on behalf of Mayor Jorge Elorza and the City of Providence. I feel so grateful. Sol, who is the Executive Director of Human Relations, so can we have a round of applause? She reached out and said that Mayor Elorza was very interested in honoring the Native American heritage here in the state of Rhode Island. And of course, we were very open to that, and we appreciate the Mayor for taking the time to acknowledge our ongoing presence here. So we're gathered here tonight. The city took care of the delicious snacks that are next door, so if you haven't already, please do make your way over there. And behind me, I am very honored to have here my fellow brothers, chiefs, warriors, woman warriors, clan mothers, all of that good stuff, the Eastern Medicine Singers. So what we're going to do is just drum a couple of social songs before Mayor Elorza gets here. When he does arrive, we'll then do an honor song. Artie Red Medicine from the Shinnecock Nation, who is a shaman, will then open us up in a word of prayer. We'll then hear some remarks from Mayor Elorza, and then we'll get back to perhaps a little bit of drumming or some words from the chief, depending on how they feel. It's going to go pretty laid back. I think if anyone is around the local Indian culture, you know, pretty laid back people, unless we get going. But tonight we're going to be laid back and enjoy ourselves. So with no further ado, I will turn it over to the Eastern Medicine Singers.
Yo!
one we're going to do is an honor song. We will allow Chief Gabba Black Eagle and the Eastern Medicine State Drum to pick it. After that, we'll have an opening prayer from Artie Red Medicine, and then we're very honored to have some words from Mayor Laws of the City of Providence.
Well, hey, well, hey, well,
We have young, we have elders, we have women, we have veterans, we have people that traveled long before we were here. That's why we're still here. We'd like to thank this chamber here allowing us to come in to this circle. Notice, it's a circle for a reason. Everything comes around in a circle, it's energy. We're actually created to bless each and every one of us. We don't know the problems you have at home, but we want to bless your family, my family, and all that could not make it, because we're all part of that nation, human being nation. We'd like to thank our Creator for having us come together in such an awesome night. We pray for those who prepare the food and nourish your bodies, your mind, and what you have to say. This circle is never closed. It's open until we go to the other side. Each one or two. Each of mine too. Each of mine too.
Now at this time, as I mentioned earlier, we are very honored to be here this evening at the invitation of the City of Providence, and Mayor Jorge Elorza. So the top Patricia, Mayor. And at this time, it's my great honor and pleasure to invite up Mayor Jorge Elorza to share some good words.
I think we can all be seated. Can everybody hear me fine?
That's fantastic.
All right, I'll try to project, inspired by this drum. So let me begin by thanking, first of all, everybody who's here celebrating, but being part of this collective act of preserving. So thank you, everybody who's here in attendance. Just sharing with you a little bit of myself right now. I'm going through a really special period and moment in my life. I have a little baby boy, my fiance's and I's, and my first. And I'll tell you, something magical happens when you have a baby for the first time. You start, thinking about the meaning of things, right? And you stop thinking so much about what you're doing or how you have to do it. You start thinking more of why you do certain things. What's the meaning behind the things that we do? And aside from being really emotional, with the birth of this little guy, it makes me think so much about how we're all part of this relay race. In fact, President Obama spoke about this as well. And everybody in this room, we happen to carry the baton at this very moment. But that baton has been carried by every human being that has ever lived for thousands and millions of years, and is going to be carried into the future for thousands of millions of years. So when I think about it like that, first of all, I think about how humbling that is. We're just one speck of dust in the long span of time. But it also makes me think about the responsibility that we have. Because as far back as it goes and as far forward as it's going to go, we are the only ones with the baton at this moment. And so everything that comes after us depends on us here today. And so this act of all of us coming together, I think it's so meaningful and special because we need to preserve that history and legacy that's been handed down to us. And just as it wasn't preserved on its own, it's not going to be preserved on its own going forward. It takes the active participation of every single one of us who holds the baton in our hands at this time to make sure that we're ushering the kind of future that we want to see and that we need in our city, in our community, and in the world. So when I think of us coming together here today, us coming together, this isn't just an event. This is a political, social, cultural statement that we're making together today. So to everyone who's gathered here to celebrate and recognize the first recognition of Native Americans celebrating that history and tradition right here at City Hall, we're establishing something really important going forward. Because thousands of years down the road, I want our culture, our community, and all of our Native American brothers and sisters to always feel at home, cared for, and as though they have a home right here in the city of Providence. So thank you very much for being part of holding the baton. And let's do everything that we can to run as fast, as hard, and as long as we pass the baton on to the next, who's going to be in a much stronger, healthier, and better position than even we had the great fortune of being. Thank you very much, everybody. And so before you all here today, I have the honor of presenting and reading this proclamation, which reads, whereas Native American Heritage Month is a national celebration commemorating the rich ancestry and traditions of indigenous communities across the Americas. Now, therefore, do I, Jorge Elorza, Mayor of the City of Providence, hereby proclaim November 2018 as Native American Heritage Month in the City of Providence that I present to Ray Two-Hawk Watson.
Humbly accept this on behalf of all of the nations and all of the individuals that are here. I snuck a quick bug into the mayor's assistant's ear, so we're actually going to do another song, Chief, and we're going to invite Mayor Jorge to come with us, if he would be so kind.
Because you were a natural. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Which means gray owl. It's in the chief language. Myself, I represent my people from here in the United States and in Canada. And it's an honor and a pleasure to be part of this. And I actually thank the government of Providence and the leader for what has happened this evening. It's great to be recognized. Right? We are the indigenous, we are the first people of the first light. And we welcome everybody. Everybody here is a brother and sister to all of us. Red, yellow, black, or white, we're all the same, I hope.
Red Sun, War Chief of the Washington Monkey Record. Thank you for inviting the Netmux here. Feels good to be here. I grew up in this building. I'm Justin O'Connor. I grew up here, and it's a pleasure to be here with all my family. Thank you for inviting us.
From Ramapo Lenape Nation. I'm also a grandmother, and I'm also the grandmother of this drum. And I want to say it's an honor and privilege to meet you. And because you let us do this tonight, it's going to be a rippling effect all over because everyone's going to hear about it. And they're going to want to be here the next time.
That's right.
My name is Catherine. I am also called She Walks with the Wind, and I am Pokanoket. And I am honored to be here with my son, Chatting Turtle. And thank you for the invitation, and we are honored to be here.
called Ewo Raskadawa with my people. I'm the sub-chief of the Wickapog Pequot Indian tribe. No one's ever heard of that before, but there is a Wickapog tribe, Pequot tribe. It's not just the Mashantuckets, the Easterns, there is another group. You ever hear the town of Westerly?
Yep.
There was a village there called Wickapog. That was named after my grandfather. My grandfather was Cashawasset in the 1600s, and he changed his name to the white man's name of Harmon Garrett. And I found his genealogy all the way down to my grandchildren. So it's a long line that I descend from. And everybody here probably doesn't even know that we're not just one tribe. The blood runs from all of us. I can tell you right now, there's at least 30 some odd Indian bloods that run through my veins. And you got the same thing, but you just don't know. You don't know it yet. Everybody here's got a little bit of Pequot. You got a little bit of Mohegan, a little bit of Manistee, Carnacy. These are tribes you never even heard of before. But everybody descends from those old ancestors. One day you should learn this. It's a good thing to know. I hope.
Representatives, I will be the last to share a few words just on behalf of the Mashipag Nahigantan tribe, who are the lineage of the Nahigantan people, who are the Aboriginal inhabitants of this land. And we're from up in this area. We just want to once again thank Mayor Laws at the competition man for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you to all of you for being out this evening. We just posted it on Facebook and shared it on social media, and all of your lovely shining faces here. Many thanks to each of the chiefs, each of the clan mothers, and each of the nation representatives that are here as well, because it's very important that we let people know that, as the sub-chief just said, there are several different tribes that call this land home right now. And we honor and respect them all. And we're very grateful that we're able to do this tonight, and we do hope to be doing more of this in the future. So please, please, please keep your ear out for lots of Indian stuff that's going on. There's a bunch of us around, and we're always happy to share our culture, always happy to share the drums.
Katana tabane, katana tabane, hey, 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 oh. Thank you for the earth and sky. Thank you for the water and the rocks. Thank you for the trees and just for today. Great Spirit, I thank you. Great Spirit, I thank you. Hey, 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 oh.
Akwani, Khan, Mahadashak, Nakis go with the team. Waki enough. Peace and farewell until we meet again.